Hey everybody, Lord Tremendous here, got a battle report here for you. 2,500 point battle and a little bit of Carnival of Chaos prep. May is quickly approaching us. I know it's like a month away or so, or almost 2 months, but damn it, it'll get here quicker than you realize. But yep, me and Sex Panther of the Legions of Chaos get together for battle report number 207, and we beat the crap out of each other to find out just how well we're going to do in the tournament. So sit back, relax, and get ready to see how this one goes.
Assemble the army!
Here's my list, and it is as follows. I have my Vampire Lord, Lord Tremendous. He's a level 4 wizard with heavy armor, Abyssal Terror, or he's mounted on Abyssal Terror, Sword of Might, Enchanted Shield, Talisman of Preservation, Other Tricksters, Shard, Quick Blood, Red Fury, and the Lore o' Vampires. My hero choices are my Lich Priest, Queen Elizabeth, who's a level 2 wizard with a Dispel Scroll and a Lore of Light, my Tomb Prince, Dark Vincent, with a great weapon, Armor Silvered Steel, and a Dragonbane Gem, and of course my Necrotech Sinister's Jeffrey with a Dragon Helm, and the Iron Curse icon. My core choices are 5 Skeleton Horseman Archers with a Banner, 44 Zombies with Banner Musician, 58 Skeleton Warriors, the Fateless, with full command, hand weapon, shield, and light armor. And I know some people have said I should switch them over to the VC zombie or skeletons so that I can give them a magic banner. I haven't done it yet in the battle report simply because these games all took place on the same day and I don't swap my lists out in between games. I try them out that day, that's what I play, unless I see a glaring deficiency in them or something like that. But in this list, I actually am quite happy with it. But I do see that, you know, if I'm going to keep taking skeletons, you know, having a magic banner in there would be quite worth it. So I'm toying with that idea. And then 13 Skeleton Archers, the Queen's Guard, with full command and light armor. My special choice are 10 Black Knights with Lances, Barding, Banner Musician, and a Banner of Eternal Flame, 1 Spirit Host, 3 Medusa Stalkers, those that gaze, and 3 Morghast Harbingers. Last but not least is my rare choice, which is my Casket of Souls. Here's my opponent's list. He has a Lord of Change, who's a level 4 wizard with the Chromatic Tome and Dark Blessing, and he's using the Lore o' Metal. And then his hero choices are a Bray Shaman, who is a level 2 wizard with a Relic Sword, Dispel Scroll, Talisman of Protection, and the Lore of Beasts. He also has a Herald of Khorne, who is his BSB with the Blade of Blood, Crashing Mass, and the Exalted Locust of Wrath. And then he's got Karanak, or however that's pronounced. His core choices are 40 Bloodletters with full command and a Banner of Swiftness, 20 Pink Horrors with full command, Lichbone Pendant, and the Lore of Tzeentch. His special choice is 5 Seekers of Slaanesh with full command and Banner of Eternal Flame, and his rare choices are 2 Skull Cannons. These are my spells, which are exactly what you're looking at. And these are his spells, as well as what he has on his Lord of Change and his Herald of Khorne. Here's deployment, and I boxed up a little bit because that huge unit of Bloodletters made me nervous. He placed them kind of early, so I said, screw it, I'll feed him a Spirit Host, keep him off my back for a turn or two. And all my heavy hitters are pretty much on my left side there. And the idea was shoot up that little bottleneck between the little rocky terrain there and the house, go through the Seekers, slam into the cannon, slam into the Horrors, slam into the other cannon, possibly even get his Lord of Change in the deal, and feed his Bloodletters, my Spirit Hosts, and my Skeletons, because why not? I mean, that's the biggest threat, and if he gets 400 points and I get 800 points from him, it's a victory. So that was the plan. If I got the Lord of Change, maybe with the, what's it called? Casket or something like that, all the better, but I figured my casket was going to get blown up pretty quick from his 2 cannons. That's why you see a rather large gap between my casket and the rest of my army. Here's my opponent's right flank, which consists of his Seekers down there in the bottom, his cannon kind of in the center, and his Pink Horrors up top there. And here's his center from left to right. There's his other cannon, his Lord of Change, his Bray Shaman, and his huge unit of, what do they call it, Bloodletters, and he's got his Herald of Khorne in there as well. Here's his left flank where my scouts are currently positioned, and I'm very proud of that. Their job is to take out the Bray Shaman before the end of the game. I guess the only he was just trying something new out, just, you know, random character out on its own, just like a scroll caddy or whatever. But I didn't know what he had. I didn't know what the deal was. I didn't know why he was by himself, so I wanted to kill him before I found out the hard way. And here's my center, which consists of, from right to left, my Spirit Host, my Skeleton Warriors with Tomb King and Necrotech installed, and my Vampire Lord on his Terror. And here's my left flank. From left to right, there's my Casket, my Harbingers, my Zombies. Behind them are my Skeleton Archers with level 2, and of course my big old brick of Black Knights. Here's top one after movement, and I didn't go first. I know, you're shocked. Yeah, instead he did, and he fired forward, because why wouldn't he? Which was fine with me, because it gave my Black Knights and my Harbingers a chance to charge his Seekers, and provided he didn't roll out of the box for his ward saves, I should be able to blow past them with combat res alone, and then overrun into either the Horrors and or the Cannon. I had planned to send the Harbingers and the Black Knights in there. Figured one of them would make the charge, and we should be golden after that. Other than that, though, everything that you see here is exactly what it looks like. During his magic phase, of course, the Rain of Chaos chart, he rolled a 9. My zombies end up losing about 10 of their number, and I get a wound put on the Mordighast because, yeah, the chart. Gotta love the chart, huh? And then he gets the Savage Beast of Horos off on his Khorne Bloodletter Herald there, the Herald of Khorne guy. And I really didn't care. I wasn't going to see those guys in combat anytime soon. That it wouldn't matter. So I just let it go. And I used my Dispel Dice to stop the rest of his magic phase. Nothing happens in shooting. He overshoots my Casket twice, thank God. Actually, he overshoots once and doesn't hit, and the second one he fails to roll a 4 up to wound my Toughness 10 Casket, so happy about that. So we go over here to bottom of 1, and I charged. And like I said, the Harbingers and the Black Knights went in, and they both made their charge, which I really wasn't prepared for, which was fine. They could all get in there evenly. It just wasn't something I was expecting. But I'm thinking with all the extra attacks now, I should be able to do some serious damage to this unit, so I'm looking forward to that. My general kind of goes into the middle to try to draw some fire away from my cannon. I figure worst comes to worst, I'm going to lose my terror, but I'm playing the odds here. My zombies come up just to kind of support everything and maybe get within 6 inches of my general if I can get invocation off so their numbers come up. My archers move up 4 inches so they can maybe shoot at something, and the skeletons stay where they're at while the Spirit Host runs over and baits the Bloodletters. There's a better picture of my Black Knights and my Harbingers making it into the Seekers, which I didn't expect, but I'm not upset about. And there's a better picture of my Scouts. Oh, I'm sorry. Duh. I'm an idiot. My Scouts did move up to shoot at the Bray Shaman, and as you can see from this picture, nothing happened in Magic worth mentioning, so we went to shooting, and boom, I put a wound on the Bray Shaman. I felt pretty good about that. During the combat phase over here, I put, like, 13 wounds or something silly on these Seekers, and he made all of his saves. All of them. Yeah. Oh, no, it was a 5-up. I'm aware. Unbelievable. I mean, just un-effing believable. I mean, it was a lot of wounds that I did to these guys, and he makes all of them. In return, he's actually able to take down one of my Black Knights. I rolled a 1. Yeah. So, charge, banner, high ground, to wound, he lost by 2. So, yeah. So what can you do, right? What can you do? He's Sex Panther. 80% of the time, his ward saves work every time. So we go over here to top of 2 after movement, and his Bloodletter's going to the Spirit Host, which was perfectly fine. His Lord of Change comes over to try to meddle with my Vampire Lord. His cannon slams into the Harbingers that should have blown through the godforsaken Seekers and slammed into them, but no, he had to make all of his effing ward saves. You're damn straight, I'm salty. You are damn straight. And the rest of his army just moves up to better arrange themselves for magic and shooting, because that's the smart thing to do. There's a better picture of his cannon slamming into my Harbingers, and I can't fault him for taking advantage of some wonderful rolling, but the man is touched by the dice gods, let me tell you. I mean, bad touched, but touched, and you know what? If I knew where the dice gods wanted to touch me, I would let them for rolls like that. I really would. I'm not above selling my body. I'm really not. And there's a better picture of his Bloodletter slamming into my Spirit Host. And yeah, it's a sacrifice. Nothing happens in his magic or shooting phase, so we go into combat. And his bloodletters, I know you're stunned. They obliterate the spirit host. And I was beside myself with surprise. Then over here, impact hits. He does the max. They all wound, so Harbinger goes down. It's insane. It's insane. It's a ton of damage. In the end, his Seekers are dead. I lose 2 more Black Knights, and I'm down to 1 Morghast with a wound on him. Oh my God. He turned what should have been a glorious victory into a painful, painful defeat over here. And, you know, that's just like a Chaos Lord, right? Just ruin what you thought was a sure thing. It's a cockblock of the armies, what can I tell you? But yeah, it's what it is. And so I'm positioned now to go after his horrors at least, so that's something. But, oh man, those ward saves are killing me. And with whining intact, we go over here to bottom of 2 after movement, and I say screw it. My Skeleton Warriors charge into his bloodletters, and they make it, which just astounded me. My Vampire Lord makes it into his Lord of Change, and I'm feeling okay about that because I've got the other Trickster Shard, so, you know, hope. And then my Black Knights make it into the Horrors, which I'm feeling pretty good about. And the zombies move up because I figured the Harbinger's dead, and I might as well send the zombies into the cannon to stop it from shooting at my casket for as long as possible. Other than that, my archers move up a few more inches to take some pot shots at the cannon if I can, and the scouts pop up to shoot at the Bray Shaman, and my snakes pop up to stare at the cannon, and I'm hoping that they remember not to look at each other first. So we'll see. There's a better picture of my Black Knights making it into the Horrors, and hey, it stops them from casting, and that's what I'm well, it doesn't stop them, but it inhibits them being able to cast a whole lot, like their magic missiles and stuff, and direct damage, so well, for the most part, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. And then over here, there's a better picture of my Vampire Lord summoning into the Lord of Change, and I'm both curious about this one and kind of excited, because I think my Vampire Lord can take a Greater Demon, but I'm not positive yet, so I'm curious to see what will happen. And there's a better picture of my Skeleton Warriors sacrificing themselves to the Bloodletters because, why not? Nothing happens in the magic shooting phase, so we go into combat, and he makes all of his ward saves again! Yay! After combat res and everything like that, even though I charged him, I lost. I put all the wounds that I've lost by onto my already wounded, thanks to the Lord of Change. Terror, and in the end, my Vampire Lord ends up on foot. The Lord of Change is perfectly healthy. I just wanted you to know. So, yeah, it's kind of going left field on me, but I don't know how to quit. So we keep going. And we go over here, and I'm able to kill like 4 or 5 bloodletters, and in return, he kills like 20 skeletons. It's a little sickening, but that's exactly what I expected to have happen, so what can you do? Then over here, though, the Black Knights do all right. After combat res and everything like that, about 10 or 11 of the pink horrors end up dead, which is awesome, including the unit champion, so I'm feeling happy about that. You know, they're diminished, they're not dead yet, but I'm not losing any models either, so I feel pretty good about that. I'm excited. I liked how easily these guys can chew up strength 3 things, so I'm happy. Then over here, kind of a stalemate. He makes his armor and ward saves like it's a 1-up rerollable. He puts another wound on the Harbinger, and I lose by 1, but it's a Harbinger, so I'm fine. So at least it's not shooting anymore. I'm feeling pretty good about that. So we go over here to top of 3 after movement, and there's not a whole lot because everything's pretty much in combat. The Bray Shaman just accepts his fate and stays right where he's at. The cannon moves slightly to get a, I don't know, better look at the casket, and everything else he has is in combat. Nothing happens in his magic phase once again because he ends up getting the spell, he rolls really low. He rolls like a 3 or a 4, whatever one it is that makes his ward save a 6 up, you know, or -1. So that's awesome. That's actually the first break I've caught all day, so I'll take it. So we go into combat, and as you can see, my Harbinger gets his face pulped. He does a wound to the cannon, yay! But, I mean, don't get me wrong, this isn't the Harbinger's fault at all. The Harbinger was rolling wonderful amounts of wounds, like 3 wounds in a row on this damn cannon. He's just making his 5-up like it's child's play. I mean, it's a little ridiculous how effective Sex Panther really is. No woman is safe, none. And then over here, my Black Knights chew up a bunch of the horrors. The 6-up ward save thing really helps me a lot. And in the end, he ends up having, I think, like 1 or 2 horrors left, which is enough to hold the unit up for another turn. But you know what? I'll take it. So the horrors are almost dead, and then the Black Knights can start running around the corner and maybe help out with the Lord of Change or maybe the Bloodletters. I don't know. Killing Blow works on me, so I don't know if I want to do that. And we'll see. We'll see where I send him. Maybe after the cannon that just raped my Harbinger. I haven't decided yet. But over here, the Vampire Lord, bolstered by the fact that his mount has just been murdered in front of him, takes the Lord of Change to task. And in just one round, he does like 4 wounds to the thing. And with Red Fury, he does another 4, and the Lord of Change is evaporated. Yeah. Let's hear it for my Vampire Lord. He was pissed. And since it's going to be my turn next turn, I turn to face the cannon because F that dude. I was like, wow. My Vampire Lord Blender dude is very impressive. I like him a lot. And now that his Lord of Change is gone, I pretty much have command of the magic phase. He's got a Brave Shaman and like 1 horror left. Feeling pretty good about this. Yeah. Thank you, Vampire Lord. There's a reason that you're now Lord Tremendous. There's a reason. There's a reason. I'm not sure what it is, but damn it, there's a reason. Then over here, my opponent kind of flubs a little bit. He only kills like 8 or 9 more of my Skeleton Warriors. I kill a decent amount of his, and in the end, I think I actually win this combat. I'm not 100%. I might not have. I don't remember exactly. But either way, if I didn't lose, then I only lost by a couple, or if he did lose, he only lost by 1 or 2, if any. So we're kind of stalemated right here. The Skeleton Warriors actually did pretty okay, and I'm proud of them for that. Excuse me. So here we are. We go over here to bottom of 3 after movement. And there's not a ton. The zombies do go into the cannon that just destroyed my Harbinger because, well, that was rude. And then my Vampire Lord, and just to be on the safe side, my snakes charge into the cannon. I thought about leaving the snakes out to Care Bear Stare at the Shaman, but I just decided, you know what, the cannon's a bigger threat. And so I could either split up my odds and go after, you know, the Brave Shaman with some Care Bear Stare, but the way I like to roll miscast, that'd be dangerous. And, you know, my Vampire Lord just rolled really, really well against the Lord of Change. I don't know how well he's going to do, you know, against this cannon. Watch him flub and die. So, just to kind of stack the odds in my favor, I figured a charge and a rear would that +2 combat res would be nice. Plus, I have a flank, so it's a decent amount of combat res. I don't think he's going to be able to do enough damage to anything to really make it, you know, even close. I wanted to hedge my bet, so I was happy with that. To make up for the lack of shots going into the Brave Shaman, I moved my archers up another 4 inches, putting the Brave Shaman in range. So he's still going to have to weather about, 18 shots? We'll see. We'll see. I might get him. Other than that, though, there's really nothing to report because everything else I have is in combat. There's a better picture of the snakes and the Vampire Lord slamming into the cannon, and I'm perfectly okay with that. And there's a better picture of my zombies slamming into that cannon. And I don't plan on beating this thing. I know. Trust me, I know. But I figured I would charge into it, and the zombies can stop it from shooting for a couple of turns, and maybe you know, I can weather his next shot at my casket and survive it. I really was just trying to plug up the cannon. That was really the plan with this charge. During the magic phase, I get Invocation off, the big 18-incher, and so I get my Black Knights back, which is huge. My skeletons get bolstered back up by about 6 or 7, I think. And everything else is fine, but, you know, it's kind of nice. I like Invocation. And during the shooting phase, I completely forget about my archers on the hill. My 5 scouts take careful aim at pretty much point-blank range, needing 5s, because, you know, they always need 5s, and obliterate the Brave Shaman. I slip another wound through, and he dies. So, all right, scouts. I like that unit. I really do. Didn't think I would, but I do. Then over here. Oh, baby.
You in my house, motherfucker!
I mean, I sent these zombies in with the sole purpose of just you know, whiffing, just going in there and plugging a cannon for a few turns. You know, if they survived, great. If not, oh well. And holy sweet lord of death and undeath, they killed the cannon. They did like 2 wounds to the mother effer, like just out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it at all. I'm like, oh, look at that, they hit. Let's see if I can roll 6 to wound. I rolled like boxcar 6. Well, obviously I rolled 2 6s. I'm like, well, you got your 3 up, 5 up. You'll be fine. Nope. Sex Panther only works 80% of the time, 100%. So yeah, I slipped 2 wounds through. And he did 2 wounds back, but I had to charge 3 ranks and a banner to his 2 wounds. And, you know, with my 2 wounds, it negated it. He takes another bunch of wounds, and the cannon dies. Couldn't believe my zombies took down a cannon. Oh, I was so proud. I mean, don't get me wrong. That required a lot of the stars aligning in order for that to occur. I'm well aware of that. But you know what? I'll take it, because that's friggin' awesome. My marauder zombies and, you know, girls out on the town zombies finally found, you know, a use, and it's cannon popping. So I absolutely love that happened. My opponent hates it, totally understandable, but I'm happy about it, and it was a pleasant surprise, to say the least. Then over here, my Black Knights miraculously are able to finish off the last horror. I know it shows one of my, what's it called? Guys, Black Knight's not on the thing. No, the horror didn't kill it or anything like that. When I did Invocation, I couldn't fit in that last model and still maintained an inch away from the impassable terrain. In fact, that little corner was actually in the impassable terrain, so there was no way I could get the last guy in there. And if there's one thing I want to do is not cheat. So we didn't put the guy on there, and fair is fair. So the horror's dead, and they kind of angle in such a way that they could start making their way around this big rock thing and getting back into this combat. So yeah. And then over here, the snakes were really just there for show. The Vampire Lord obliterates this cannon all by himself. And mostly thanks to the fact that he's got Quick Blood, Red Fury, and the, other Trickster Shard. It does die horribly. It's not able to do anything back to me, and that's awesome. Then over here, it goes back and forth again. I think it's either a tied combat or he wins by 1 or 2. I'm down to 30 skeletons. Well, I'm down to 28 skeletons with a Necrotech and a Tomb Prince installed because he is throwing attacks at him. He's just not wounding, which is shocking the hell out of both of us. And, of course, my Skeleton Warriors are, like, doing really well against these guys. It's a little terrifying, I won't lie to you. But, yeah, that's what the combat looks like after all is said and done. So, whoo, baby, it's starting to look good for the home team. With nothing else to report, we go over here to top 4 after movement. And while there's not a whole lot of movement, Karanak comes on the table. And he did mark my level 2 caster for death at the beginning of the game. So he shows up right behind the archers, looking to just chew them up. So I might lose a caster, but at this rate, I'm feeling pretty good about it. During his magic phase, he rolls a 3, I think it is, and we go to the Reign of Chaos chart, and Karnak ends up being the attention for, I think it's Khorne is pissed off, or one of the Dark Gods is pissed off, and he does something, and Karnak takes a wound for it. So, okay, thank you, Dark Gods, for being fickle. I can understand and respect that. Nothing happens in magic or shooting, so we go into combat, and I lose 4 more skeletons, and he loses, I think, 4 or 5 more bloodletters. I think I win this combat. Or he does, and either way, it's close, and that's what you're seeing right there. He's got about 12 guys in his Herald of Khorne left. I've got about, what do I got there? Like, 24 guys and 2 characters left, so, all right. Go team! With that fun said and done, we go over here to bottom of 4, and I had the decision to make. I know I'm very well aware of the fact that if I sent my Vampire Lord into the Bloodletters, he might be okay. He might be able to finish him off. However, I have lost enough generals to Killing Blow to know that that is temptation well resisted. So instead of sending my Vampire Lord into the Bloodletters, I sent my snakes into the rear. Idea is, yeah, I know they got, you know, all the toughness and everything like that. They got like no armor save against their attacks, all that good stuff. But the hope was charge, rear, a few stomps, 6 attacks. Maybe they could push it over the edge. As long as the Skeleton Warriors keep doing what they've been doing, maybe I could push this combat over and get the bloodletters down to the point where they won't be able to come back, and I can eat their lunch and get those points for a change. If not, I have my Vampire Lord and my Black Knights well positioned, ready to charge into the bloodletters just to solidify, just to guarantee those points. I did not send the scouts in because my opponent didn't need any more combat res in his favor. And then I turn my zombies like they go 4 inches, and then they stopped. But the Skeleton Warriors do a swift reform and pass it, and turn to face Karanak, because I'm hoping to either magic him off the table with his magic res is pretty unlikely, or maybe shoot at him and put a few more wounds on him before he charges in and starts eating my unit up. So that's the plan there. There's a better picture of my snake slamming into the bloodletters, and I'm hoping that's enough to push the combat into my favor. During the magic phase, just because I'm not stupid, I got Invocation off and I got Hellish Vigor off. Keep in mind, I now own the magic phase. All of his casters are dead. I have a level 4 and a level 2 on the table. I pretty much get off what I want at this point, as long as I throw enough dice at it. And yeah, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I get Hellish Vigor and Invocation off of my Skeleton Warriors, bolstering them and making them more dangerous in combat, which is exactly what I need to do against demons. You can't let up even when it's looking good. And then over here, on a whim, I was actually just trying to pull out Dispel Dice and it went off. I got Briona's Time Warp off on my Skeleton Warriors, and that's really just kind of like, yay. I get +1 attack, and I think it's always strike first now or something like that. And I'll take it. I'll take it. My unit champion is going to issue and accept any challenges until, he can't anymore. So he's got a little edge, I guess. He's still a dead man. Karnak's going to rip him to pieces, but you never know. And then we go into combat over here, and oh my god, he flubs. My opponent, this was all his dice. His bloodletters choke. And my Skeleton Warriors, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still took a healthy amount of loss, but he didn't get past the skeletons I re-raised. So in the end, I'm able to kill off the rest of the bloodletters, both in combat and in combat resolution. I lose no snakes. I think I took a wound on a snake, and I lost, I don't know, 4 to 5 Skeleton Warriors, and then they turn around to face Karnak and his little buddies, and I'm pleased. I'm very, very pleased. I got the bloodletters in more or less a straight-up fight. Magic helped a lot, but hey, you know what? That's why you bring it, so it helps you out. With that celebration said and done, we go over here to top of 5 after movement, and all he's got left is Karnak, and he goes charging into the Skeleton Archers, and I can't blame him. There's a better picture of Karnak slamming into the Skeleton Archers, and that was expected. We go straight into combat, and my unit champion accepts the challenge, and he eats him alive. In the end, all I have is a banner. I ended up down, I think, 4 or 5 skeletons in the end. I still have a healthy amount, hopefully enough to help get me through this next round, and I'm going to be bringing in a bunch of stuff, so hopefully I can magic my guys back up and everything. That's the hope. If not, my sorcerer is dead. So with that in mind, we go over here to bottom of 5 after movement, and as you can see, everything kind of swoops over to Karnak. He might get my archers and my caster, but he is not going to the victory party if I can, stop it. I just need one more turn to charge him with my Vampire Lord, and he should be able to finish Karnak off. During the magic phase, I'm able to get Hellish Vigor and Briona's Time Warp off on the Skeleton Archers again, and of course, Invocation of Nehek. So my Skeleton Archers back up to full strength, my unit champion is back up, and that means I've got one more round bought with the life of my unit champion. And that's exactly what happens. Karnak goes, my unit champion issues a challenge. He has no choice but to accept, and he does 1 wound to my unit champion, and so he does more than that. He does a couple of wounds to my unit champion. He does something. In the end, I lose my unit champion and 1 other Skeleton Archer, so that's not so bad. With all that said, now we go over here to top of 6 after movement, and it's exactly what it looks like because he's got no movement. And we shoot straight over into combat, and he issues a challenge. My Lich Queen or Priest says, no, I don't have to accept that. And so she went to the back. She went over to the side where she could get out of combat. And he took his wrath out on 4 of my Skeleton Warriors. Or Skeleton Archers anyway. But I don't remember exactly how many he kills, but as you can see, I actually slipped a wound through. Not really sure how that happened. But, yeah, I mean, that was a little while ago. No, that was this turn. So, yeah, actually slipped a wound through on Karnak. He's not dead yet, but he's circling the drain. I end up losing 4 more archers after all is said and done, but Here's bottom of 6 after movement, and who comes to the rescue? None other than the Lord of Change whooping, cannon disarming madman that is the Vampire Lord, Lord Tremendous. And yes, he charges into Karnak, and all is safe now. There's a better picture of my Vampire Lord slamming into Karnak. I don't bother with magic or shooting because I don't want to take the risk in magic, and shooting there's no point, so we go straight into combat, and boom. Lord Tremendous eats Karnak alive, does the last wound to him before he can kill my Lich Priest, because my opponent was not going to make the mistake of issuing another challenge, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There's the end of the game. I have banished demons from our realm once again, which is nice because usually the, demons banish the undead from the realm. So, but yeah, I'm very pleased. Obviously, I won. Little shocked at the Black Knights and Morghasts getting just trumped by the Seekers and the cannon charge. That was insane. Sex Panther, I mean, he earned the name. It's not something I would just call a guy because, whatever. He earned it. 80% of the time, his ward saves work 100% of the time. It's a little frustrating, but that's cool. That's cool that he's got that gift. Other than that, yeah, this was a hell of a game. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of sideways, and even in a loop-de-loop. It was kind of neat. But, we're going to get to the recap in a second because right now, this game is over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Hey guys, you know these tokens, you've seen them 100 times, and you know what? Every time you see them, if you haven't bought them yet, you're just wasting time. Get these tokens. All of the lords of whatever spell you're casting, all the wound counters. You see me use them in every single game, and you've never heard me since I've been using the counters going, I can't remember how many wounds I had, or what spell was on this guy, or whatever. And they're flawless. They're awesome. You're the envy of everyone you play against. Send Token Gal an email. Get these tokens. They're dirt cheap, but they're solid gold quality, guys. I'm telling you, you cannot go wrong. A lot of people have already ordered them, and nobody's returned any. Nobody's even asked to return any. All they do is they order more. Get yours. Get them soon. You're wasting time, and these are totally worth it. Tell her Tremendous sent you. Hey guys, I got another great deal for you. Movement trays. We all use them. We all need them. If you're watching this report, you have some or you need some. And do I have the vendor for you? This guy makes solid metal movement trays. I mean, cuts them to your specifications using a galvanized metal. It's not that cheap, thin, weak aluminum. This stuff is sturdy. I'm using them. I used them all throughout this game. Take a look at the pictures. They're all in there. I love these trays. They're metal, so they auto-magnetize. Well, provided you put magnets on your guys. And he does them dirt cheap, guys. I'm telling you. He's got an eBay page. There's an email on here. Get a hold of this guy. Get yourself some movement trays and get yourself organized. You're going to be thrilled. You can paint them. You can do everything. These things are awesome. My local game store guy is literally in contact with this guy so that he can become a vendor. That's how high quality these things are. So I'm telling you guys, give this guy an email. Check out his eBay page. Get yourself some movement trays and stop playing like a Neanderthal. Tell him Tremendous sent you. You won't regret it. Yeah, that's right. I don't know if you were paying attention or not, but we got a few new pictures. So not only does Unleashed Wargaming paint amazing models for commission and stuff like that, send him an email. He does excellent work, as you've seen from the pictures. Not only does he do all the different Magic lore cards for Warhammer Fantasy, I mean every lore. You want Storms of Magic? send him an email. You want lore of fire, send him an email. You want every lore that's ever been out in 8th edition, send him an email. These things are solid. They're laminated, they're on cardstock, they're Photoshop made, they're amazing. And they're good, they're well priced, guys, I'm telling you. And now he's also doing 40k cards, the psychic stuff or whatever. I don't play 40k, but if you do, there's nothing wrong with that. But there is something wrong with it if you don't get these cards and if you don't have your models painted by them. Just throwing it out there. Just, you know, you may, if you feel guilty, that's because you know you're wrong. But send this guy an email, get your models looking good, get the cards that you need, get your real game going, and tell him Tremendous sent you. You're not going to regret it. That's right. You knew this was coming eventually. In conjunction with Unleashed Wargaming and Lonehammer, we have opened an online store with hats, shirts, and I think that's it for right now. Maybe dice and stuff like that later on, as well as other gear, maybe, you know, dice cups, whatever. We'll think of something. But we're doing a trial thing. For the next month and a half or so, we're going to have this online store. The website is here. It'll be in the description of the, you know, the page and everything like that. But yeah, if you want a t-shirt, if you want a hat, if you know, want to wear paraphernalia, by all means, head over to this store, check it out, get yourself some Lord Tremendous gear. God knows I have. and yeah, this is your chance. If you like Lonehammer, if you like Unleashed Wargaming, if you like Lord Tremendous, you can get this stuff. And if you don't like us, you can get it and you can set it on fire and send it to us as a threat. It's awesome. But yeah, go to the website. It'll be here. It's on this, you know, channel obviously, or on the description, and get yourself some gear. We're going to try it out for a month and see how it goes, and if it keeps up, then we'll keep adding to it, and if not, well, we'll pretend like we never did it. But yeah, guys, by all means. And if there's anything you want to see on the store or anything like that, throw it in the comments section, and if we like it, we'll make it happen. So, yeah, for you guys paying attention at home, this was a victory for Lord Tremendous. My opponent was tabled, so we didn't bother with the points. I ended up losing my Morghast and a Spirit Host. The Legion of Chaos lost everything, which is what tabled means. This was a hell of a game. Lots of highlights, lots of lowlights, but it was anything but boring. My zombies taking down the Skull Cannon was unprecedented. I could not believe it. I know the stars aligned. It was lucky as hell. If I play 100 more games like that and that exact same combat plays out, it'll never happen again. But I'll be dipped. I was so pleased when it happened, I won't lie. I mean, I just sent him in there to stop up the cannon for a few turns, and instead those glorious bastards, those happy little zombies, ripped it down into pieces. I'm gonna paint them all gold. I mean, I was so happy. And then the lows, the Seekers making all those. It wasn't 13. It was like 6 or 7. It was an insane amount. But they made all their ward saves. That wasn't expected either. Not as happy about that as I was about the zombies. But, you know, that allowed his cannon to charge more gas and put them into the dirt. So, you know, I guess it was give and take. But wow, Sex Panther. No more ward saves. He can never switch armies because if he doesn't have a ward save, I don't know what he's going to do. But it was still kind of funny in both ways. My lord losing his mount to the Lord of Change, his ward saves hurt. I did a lot of wounds to him, but he made his ward saves, even with having to re-roll it. So that was something else. But in the end, I did end up getting him. But man, Sex Panther can roll his saves like none other. My skeletons actually winning a combat, granted Invocation and the snakes to the rear and Hellish Vigor all helped tremendously. They still won a combat for a change. I'm really not used to seeing them on the table at the end of the game. They usually get ripped apart pretty quick. And I also got lucky that my opponent kept missing when he was firing his cannons at my casket. Not that my casket did anything this game other than give me, you know, D3 power dice, which is more than enough reason to bring it to every single game I ever play. It was just he spent all of his shots shooting at the casket, and he either overshot it, undershot it, or failed to roll a 4 to wound. So That was really lucky that it was a cannon magnet like that without taking any damage. I was positive that my cannon was going to be dead top of one when I saw 2 cannons, but I was desperate to make it count. But I am really enjoying this new build. There are still a few changes I want to make. They'll be coming out in future battle reports. I did make them. I did try them. I'm very happy with the list that I'm currently playing with. But of course, I'm always open to suggestions. You guys come up with some really good ideas. So I enjoy that. So please, if you have an idea, suggestion, comment, complaint, whatever, throw it in the comment section. If I like it, I'll make it happen. If I don't like it, I still might make it happen out of curiosity. You never know. I'm very fickle. But as always, this was a great game. This is a great opponent. If you guys ever get a chance to play against Sex Panther, it's worth it. Because 80% of the time, it's always a good game. So, but I'm definitely looking forward to the rematch. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this battle report. Number 207 is in the history books. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.